Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So yesterday I did my first stream since over 6 months. I did a 6-hour stream just to show everybody what I was working on and to give them an idea of what's going to be added to the mission in the future. I'll just start over a little bit and summarize it again just to recap. So basically, instead of the police force, we now have an army. So that's why we have the military ranks over here. These were all whitelisted slots. OPFOR is something you normally don't see much on live servers. So what I've done is I've added the OPFOR faction again. So this way we have a special faction for the rebels. The independent faction is the medics, and the civilians are basically civilians. These slots are not whitelisted, so if you want to jump on the server, just go to Altis.XYZ. There's a getting started manual over there. It's pretty straightforward. Just install Aussie's map. I just saw you following me, Aussie, so thank you very much for that. Same thing goes to Krookje. I just saw that before we started, so let's start as the Presidente. So if there's anything you're curious about, just ask in the chat. I'd happily explain anything I'm working on. So let's start with the map a little bit. As you can see, there's already a lot of stuff added to the mission. I first started out with Sydney because I thought, let's start with the biggest city. That way we have a template for the city. As you can see, there's 2 garages, so I utilize both of them at the moment. And currently Aussie is working on version 5, and I think everybody that's familiar with the map is really looking forward to that. There's a lot of great additions, a lot of custom buildings, a lot of breakable glass, so a lot of chance for shootouts. So a lot of people are probably going to find a reason. So first I did Sydney, then I started on the other end of the map with Darwin, and I basically got everything set up right now. So sometimes you have to zoom in a little bit because things are cluttered. I also added these little icons, these greenhouses, where ATMs are. So, and as you can see, there's sand mines, diamond mine, and iron mine. Basically, a couple of other fields and quarries. We got wheat fields, cocaine, heroin. We got everything in place, and you can make a lot of good money if you do that. Wheat is legal on the island. Some people may already know. That's why there's no red zone around the wheat fields. The same thing goes for the wheat processor. If we look at Alice Springs, for example, then you'll see that there's a wheat processor and a heroin processing, and there's a red zone around the heroin processing. So that's because heroin is basically illegal. But on the other end, I'll tell you a bit more about that because it's not really illegal since it's a bit of a rogue state nation. So I'll tell you a bit more about that later. As you can see, there are also small red zones around the heroin fields, cocaine fields. They have a diameter of about 200 meters, so you still have to sneak up to someone pretty closely before you can kill them without initiating roleplay. There's also rebel posts. The rebel faction mainly plays on the west side of the island, and the army is mostly active in Adelaide and Melbourne, Victoria, and Sydney. Not sure yet what to do with Brisbane. Maybe mix it up with a bit of both. And the idea is that civilians can do drugs, they can do anything illegal, they can do legal stuff, basically anything they want. And the army is there to protect civilians on this side of the island, on the east side, and the rebels are here to protect civilians on the west side of the island. So you can become friendly with rebels or with the army, and each friendship has its own benefits and also its own disadvantages. Krookje, same country as you, the Netherlands. So. Alright, so let's get started. This here is an army base I built in Sydney. Let's grab a helicopter and take off so you can see where it's at. It was a nice grass field just outside of Sydney on the edge. So I thought, you know what, why not build a nice army base over there. So this turned into Army HQ. Now let's take a little bird for now. There we go. I'm really curious for everybody's feedback, so are there any features you would really like to see? Anything on the map? Have you tried it out already? And if you found anything that's buggy, you know, just feel free to let me know. So the Army HQ is basically where you can spawn if you're a soldier. There's a few more places. Civilians got 2 spawn points right now. The one in Sydney and the one in Darwin. And as soon as I've got the shops added to the other cities, which will probably be somewhere next week, then those will also become spawn points. So this is the army base over here. As you can see, we got an entrance over there. That's Sydney. So as you can see, we're right on the edge of town. And there's the other entrance. There's a corner over there, so you have to be a bit careful if you come around the corner. Don't drive into that. You don't want to go there. So let me show you something about the inside of this dome, because that's what's probably most different compared to other live missions. Whoops. Hope we got a repair kit. Oh, where did that go? There we go. I think I just took that out, did I? Oh, lucky me. Long live Arma physics. So in the dome we have a drop point over there for delivery missions, and we have a drug dealer over here. And this is basically the only drug dealer at the moment. He's my son, Danny De Silva. As you can see, we look like 2 drops of water. Yeah. So this is where you go if you want to sell your drugs. So if you want to sell your drugs and have to go to an army base, does that make sense? Well, on this server it does, because I'm a dictator, I'm the president, but I'm a sort of a benevolent dictator. So the same thing goes for the rebels. They also have their own president, they have their own vice president, their own colonels, their own lowered rank rebels. And this way the army and the rebel faction are really like 2 opposing factions. And it's not that one of them is really overpowered compared to the other one. And this way we try to keep sort of a balance between the army and the rebels, and I think it's nice to have those 2 factions to complement gameplay. So if you're friendly with the army, you can simply drive your truck over here, you know, you give us a call, I'm on my way, I got a truck full of, you know, whatever. And then you drive over here. The guards will do a little check at the gate to see if you're not wearing any heavy weapons. You know, if you do, you just have to leave them at the gate. They might check your truck on bombs, you know, that sort of stuff. And once you've been cleared, you can simply drive through. So as you can see here, this is like the second line of defense with these bunkers, and this is like the first line where you enter the base. We got similar bases for the rebels, so let me just teleport over there to show you what I mean. Here's the entrance of the rebel HQ. As you can see, I use some different buildings, mostly different colors, but also different types of buildings, like these guard towers, for example. If you're wondering how to get a nice view if you're in these towers, just have to draw your gun. So if you stand like this, you get a perfect view. You got some different type of guard towers over here with sandbags, but it's still like heavily protected. So once we have a couple of people in here, then it's going to be really difficult to try and take over one of these bases. Those kind of things will mostly be roleplay events, so they will be planned ahead. And if they're not planned ahead, you know, and if there's enough people online, you can always come up with something on the fly. Just let each other know if you're going to do something like that, because if somebody's already like into a roleplay situation, and it's really difficult to mix to mix that roleplay situation up with something like that, you might want to wait a little bit, you know, but I think people should just be able to come up with events on the fly. I'll show you the rebel base inside a little bit. As you can see, we got camouflage buildings over here, different color guard towers. Same thing goes for the big tower. Let me go upstairs so you can actually see what kind of overview you have over here at the Rebel HQ. There's also a Rebel outpost in the desert, and over there you got a really great overview if you stand on top of you know, this type of tower. Same thing goes over here. I'm going to crank up the view settings a little bit. There we go. As you can see, you got a great overview over here. There's a lot of lighting on all of these bases, so if you try to sneak up to one of them, it's going to be pretty hard. I think that on this base, if you wanted to sneak up on it, it's probably best to do it from the woods over there. Palm tree woods, not too bad. And yeah, we got a great overview over here. Next to the airport, so we can easily see what's going on at the airport here in Darwin. See if I can teleport somewhere else, or then I'm going to die because I'm up on a tower then. This one, here in the middle of the desert. It's the same sort of base, it's basically a copy. So I might want to extend the Rebel HQ a little bit in the near future. We just need some more rebels first, so you know, that way we can start listening to their suggestions. We already had a couple of people try to or tested out the army bases to find any bugs, you know, find any perimeter breaches. But so far everything looks pretty good. So as you can see from here, it's like really difficult to attack one of these bases, especially with these walls. There's a ton of lighting, so even at night it's going to be difficult. Unless there's not enough manpower over here, then you can simply walk in. Thing is that if you walk in, we got some rebel shops over here. But these ones are only usable for the rebel faction. So as a civilian, if you want heavier weapons, if you want this type of rebel clothing, then you'll have to buy it from a rebel themselves. So if you're friendly with rebels, they will probably sell it to you for, you know, a nice low price. But if they don't like you, you know, maybe they will still sell it to you, but just ask more money for it. They could also decide to not sell anything to you. But if you stand behind their cause, you know, if you're willing to fight the army, then you can sort of, you know, work with them as a civilian. You can start your own gang. As a gang, you could choose a faction that you want to support, and that way, you know, choosing a faction really has its own benefits. Then the last rebel outpost is here in Perth. As you can see, we're using the same colors again for the buildings, same types of entrance. And since we're teleporting already, there we go. Hey man. Oh, you look messed up. Let's see. Are we in TeamSpeak together?
Oh man.
Channel switched.
Hey man. Yo, what's up? Are you on TeamSpeak by any chance?
No, not right now. You want me to?
It's probably a lot easier and the sound is like better quality, so yeah, sure. You look a bit messed up, man. You want to go to the hospital?
I only lost 4 health because I tried to go down the slide. That didn't work out very well.
Alright. Alright. Okay, I've just... Oh, hey man. So I've just spawned like a quad bike real quick. I'll drive to the hospital. We'll then go over to the
Bro, I
garage
only
and
have
get
4
something.
health gone.
You look all bloody and stuff, so...
I don't know, this kind of looks a little gay, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was just telling people at home about the idea of the mission, the army, the rebels, etc. You know.
Telling people at home?
Yeah, I'm streaming right now, so
Oh, you are?
you are on.
What's
yeah,
up, guys?
You're on the internet.
Oh, I'm famous.
Yep.
Hey, Mom.
So what's up? You want to go make some money after this? What?
Yeah, are we gonna do some drugs?
All right. Well, I can help you a little bit with that. You know, since I'm a soldier, I'm not able to pick anything myself. You know, but we can take one of my choppers. You can fill it up. I can help you do your business. I've seen like bloody people in this game, but that was like really, really, really bloody.
Should I bring any money?
No, not right now. You already have the cocaine license, right?
Alright.
With the processing
Yeah.
license. Alright.
Yeah, I already have it.
Let's just, you already got a backpack, so let's just drive straight over to the airport, get a chopper, and
Sounds
fly
good.
over there. The only thing is that as a soldier, I'm not able to buy which one again? The Mohawk. So that's the one with the biggest inventory. I'm not sure. Do you already have a chopper?
No.
All right. Do you have enough money, you think, to buy one?
Well, I only have like a million and 70K. 700K, I mean.
Okay, well it should be good enough. Are you good at flying?
Nope, trash at it.
Okay.
Tried
Well,
it earlier. I crashed pretty terribly.
okay. Well, I can fly you. That's not a problem. And,
A lot better at driving.
I got some time. I got a couple of hours, so enough time to do 1 or 2 rides. If other people hop on, I'll start helping them too. You know. So
Yeah.
we can also take them along for a ride, so they can also start making some money.
Yeah.
So for the people at home, we got a civilian over here who's new to the island. He just got off the plane yesterday, so we're just gonna go to the cocaine field, do some
Who?
cocaine. You arrived on the island yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably somewhere next week I will have all the other shops added to the other cities.
Yeah.
So then I'll also be adding spawn points for civilians. Because right now it's not really useful to spawn in a city where you basically don't have any shops.
What do you mean? You got a gun store, you got pretty much everything there.
Yeah, in Sydney and in Darwin, but not in Perth and Melbourne and the other cities.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for the smaller cities, you know. In one city I want a place like only a gun store, and in the other one a general store with a market, etc. And then once we have that in place, we can start adding more scripts, more vehicles, more weapons, more clothing, whatever. Oh yeah, it's a rental. I spawned this one. Here we go. Let's see. Can you buy the Mohawk?
Wait, how? Where?
You have to check the helicopter shop. So just scroll to helicopter shop and then click on Mohawk, and then you'll see how much it costs.
It says vehicle garage and store vehicle in garage.
Oh wait, yeah, shit, we're at the wrong place. The helicopter shop's over there, behind this guy. No, it's the other one. We have to go further. Just follow me. The thing is, I can't buy that helicopter or get it from my garage if I'm a soldier. So
What do I need again?
the Mohawk.
That's 5 to 7 mil.
All right. I can give it to you right now. You can give it back to me if you want. That way we don't have to go back to an ATM now.
Alright.
It's a bit of cheating, but it'll help us to get started a bit quicker. Alright, that's 7 mil. Do you have enough for the Mohawk?
500k more is all I need.
Sorry, come again?
500k.
Alright. There you go.
Thanks. Now I'm missing $7.
$7. You know what? I'll give you 10. Then we should be good. Alright, so that's gonna be 7,500,000 and $10.
Oh my god, I don't have a license.
You don't have a license. Alright, well, since we were cheating already, let's just teleport over to the DMV. After we get the chopper, we'll stop cheating, we'll just start sort of RPing.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We need some more people on here to start RPing anyway, so. There you go.
Oh, that was a little laggy.
It was pretty cool yesterday that it was like my first stream and the server had only opened up since like 2 days. We already had a couple of people pardon me. We already had a couple of people jumping on.
Yeah,
You came back,
sounds
so
pretty
that's a good sign.
Yeah. Where's the closest ATM?
Here on the other side of the street, Centrelink. I have to figure out a way how to make to put a user action on the ATMs themselves. I already have the class name for the ATM, so now I just have to figure out how to make the default ones usable. So that's why I put these one over the in-map ones, just as a temporary workaround. All right. You got the license, or?
Yep, I got everything.
Right, let's teleport back over to the airship. Alright, let's try not to cheat anymore from here on.
Alright.
Do you have repair kits?
Nope.
Okay, well, we'll just fly over to the general store.
Yeah.
Can you give me the keys?
T, right?
Y, and then keychain. Thank you. general store. Yeah, we have to bring some repair kits, you know. You never know what happens, so. There we go.
Where is it?
Just around the corner. I think it's the first building over there.
What are we doing again?
We need some repair kits at the general store.
I found it. Yeah. Toolkits?
Yeah, those.
I already got 2 of them.
Okay, good. Then we're good to go. Right, 30 kilometers to the to the coke field. That's why you want to do something like this in a chopper. And right now the biggest inventory is the one in the Mohawk.
Yeah.
In the near future it's going to be the Huron, of course.
Is that going to be really expensive?
Yeah, it's a bit more expensive than the Mohawk, you know, but if you do chopper runs and you do them successfully, you easily make enough money to buy them.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money doing coke runs. Like with this one, you'll be making like 7.5 million if you do one run of coke. So for one person, that's a lot of money. But in the future, as soon as this server gets more densely populated, then it's going to be more difficult. So then you're gonna have to do drug runs with more people, you know. Otherwise
Yeah,
you're never
because
gonna
there's
make
gonna
it.
be people like shooting you when you're trying to land or something.
Yeah, exactly. Also because the cocaine fields and the cocaine processor are red zones.
Yeah.
Right now the cocaine processor isn't, but I'm going to add a red zone to the processor also.
So wait, if you're part of like the rebels and there's people at the processor, you're not allowed to shoot them, right?
Right. Except when they're enemies, you know. So if it's a civilian gang who's affiliated with the army, for example, then you're like known enemies, like sworn enemies, and then they will definitely come to kill you, you know, if they know you're over there. Also because it's a red zone, so basically everybody can go in there, but normally rebels don't kill civilians. Normally rebels try to protect them and win them over for their cause. And rebels can't do drugs themselves, just like the army, so that's why it's more interesting for them to protect civilians and try to get some protection money or something that way.
Dude, I can't wait for Halo Wars 2.
Sorry, for what?
Halo Wars 2.
Alright.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, not yet. Is that like the add-on, like the Halo type of add-on for Arma?
Oh yeah, it's like no, not for Arma.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's a completely different game.
Alright.
They made on the Xbox 360, they made a game called Halo Wars, and a while ago, it was like a few years ago, and oh my god, it was like the best game ever.
Okay.
And now they're making a sequel to it, which I always wanted,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy because it's supposed to be a lot better.
All right. Yeah, I'm really addicted to Arma at the moment. I've already played like over 2,300 hours, so
Yeah,
I'm really
I
waiting
kind of
for.
like Arma, but I have nobody to play it with, and it's kind of a little boring when you play by yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have to get started somewhere, and that's why I think that live missions are a great way to meet people.
That's why I came on this. That's why I asked to play with you because,
Yeah.
well, I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. Like I didn't know how to find things and shit.
Yeah, I had the same thing. The first live server on was like I don't know 1-2 years ago, and it was Altis.XYZ. And the first 2 days I was running around, I didn't even know how to pick apples. So I was like a straight up hobo, you know. That was like my first experience with live missions. And then I tried it a bit, you know, for a few days, and then I started to figure out how everything worked, you know, like all the basics. And at some point I was sitting in the green zone just chilling out for a second, and I saw two guys, and one of them was driving a quad bike around, and he crashed into something, and the other guy came over there to help him. So, you know, it was pretty funny. I don't even know what it was all about anymore, but the whole situation was pretty funny. So I saw that from a small distance, and then I thought, you know, okay, these guys are cool. They're probably not going to try and rob me as soon as I walk up to them. So then we started hanging out with the three of us. Then we bumped into another guy who was trying to rob us. So then we pulled out our guns and we started to rob him, and then we actually gave him all the stuff back, and he also joined our gang. So then it was like 4 of us, and that way it grew and grew and grew, and it kept growing, and we did that for, I don't know, about half a year or something. And then some people started to join the cops, you know, so yeah, everything just transformed into a bit of a different scenario from there on. And at some point people left the server for other servers, and that's also when I started to look around, you know, to other servers, other mods, etc., like Lakeside. And at some point I started working on my own Altis Life mission about 3 months ago. And then after I started working on that, I think like already after a week or maybe 2 weeks, I came up with the idea to port the whole thing to the Australia map. So I did that like that night, and the next morning I had it ported, I had the basic stuff working, and from there on I started adding a bunch of scripts and the shops into all the right places. And I started with Sydney, and that's like my basic template for all the other cities. So then I tried copying it to Darwin, and everything looks pretty well. So over the next week I'll be adding all the shops to the other cities, and then we got all the basic stuff set up, and then we can start adding more cool features.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, just hope that more people will hop on, you know. I'm always glad to help people and just help them get started. And once people get started and a few more people hop on, then yeah, you're definitely gonna have some cool situations.
Yeah, it would be fun robbing people when they go to the processor.
Yeah, for example. But it's like it's a really strategic thing, you know, with live missions, because you can't just go up there and start shooting, you know. So you always have to roleplay. You always have to go up to somebody and actually rob them, and then some sort of situation, just, you know, you just end up in a situation.
Like
No, exactly. You always end up in a situation that you can't expect beforehand, because you never know what's really going to happen over there. You know, they could have people somewhere else, and once you start role-playing and you initiate, because you only see like one guy, for example, and you start robbing them, there might be like 2, 3, maybe 5 guys somewhere else that you haven't seen yet. So that way you're outnumbered, you know, or you never really expected it, that sort of stuff. You start robbing someone and, you know, afterwards you become friends, that sort of stuff. Alright, there we go. It's just that I can't help you pick because I'm a soldier, so the cocaine, the coca plant is somewhere over here. Let's see. the coca plant. I think this is a nice way to start, you know, for you to get to know life. And if the server doesn't populate, at least you already know how to do everything, so.
Yeah, I'm learning.
And otherwise you can always hop on back later and continue where you left off. At least you already have a bit of money then.
Oh, I think I tabbed out. Oh no, sticky keys.
And it's also good to have new people, you know, who are like new to this idea, because that way, yeah, it might be easier to come up with new ideas. So after I've added like shops to all the other cities, have I already told you about the the Australian passport?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be awesome too, because that way new people who are new to the server or even new to the whole idea will start out in Tasmania, where you don't have like weapon shops, you know, that sort of stuff. So you can just go around, learn the basics, make some money, buy a car, etc. And then when you have your basic stuff set up, then you buy a passport to for Australia, and then you get the extra spawn points in Sydney and all the other cities.
Yeah. I wish that there was a way that they could connect more than one map to each other using like airports or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or like fly from one server to another.
Yeah. And you could have like a world map.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about it. I thought about that too, you know, that'd be really awesome. Or even if you could go like from one game into another one, or sell something to another game or something like that, so that you could like pick and process cocaine over here and then you sell it to somebody in another game. For example,
Sell it to somebody in
like
a
in Grand.
different state or something.
Sorry, you got a bit of background noise over there. Didn't really catch what you were trying to say.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Like you could sell it to somebody in like a different state or something.
Yeah.
Or like a different country.
Would be cool if there was also a New Zealand map that you could fly over.
Yeah. Or if they put like New Zealand in the Australian map.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is that you're gonna have to increase the map size then, and once you've set the map size, you can't increase it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make this. You can make this map like 5 times as big. The max is let's see. This map is 1600 square kilometers. No, wait, it's even more, because this map is 40 by 40, and the max you can make is like 100 by 100. So that's 10,000 square kilometers. Yeah, that's more than 5 times as big.
Do you think that you could make like a United States map, or?
Yeah, the thing is you're just gonna need like a ton of developers if you want that done in this lifetime.
Yeah.
But you could basically make that, of course. It would be on scale, you know, just like this map, but you could make it like 10,000 square kilometers, so that's like a quarter of the Netherlands where I live.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really fucking big. You could make all of Holland. Maybe even Belgium. No, Belgium is bigger. A country like Luxembourg, for example, or I don't know, something maybe like Nicaragua or Panama. I think you could build it like exactly in this game. Like every street, every building, you name it. You're just gonna need the development resources to do that, but should be doable.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Wouldn't it be cool if they could make it like where you could use Google Maps and you could like take images off of there and make them into like 3D images and then put them inside of Arma?
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could just use or like play on Google Maps. Hey, Angry Sensei. The United States, yeah, it would be freaking nuts. Yeah, it'd be like,
over here.
have you seen The Purge? It'd be like that.
Yeah.
If you have the United States in this game, holy crap. Be like The Purge on steroids.
Well, it's like The Purge anyway.
Yeah, you know, life missions are a bit like a mix between Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Sims. And what else?
Yeah, because you gotta keep your guy healthy and stuff.
Yeah. It's like Tamagotchi.
Yeah, and yet you can still role play and stuff.
Yeah. It's like a Tamagotchi on drugs. I think we should add like Australian football shirts, you know, so that or rugby shirts, so that if you live in a certain city, that you can buy the local team shirts over there. Then you can go out and riot.
Yeah, and then you could fight other people
with different shirts.
opposing team shirts.
Yeah, exactly. That if you wear one of those, you just know that if another guy with another shirt sees you, that he's going to kill you. The Angry Sensei says that you can use Google Maps for that. That'd be awesome if you can just like play on Google Maps.
Yeah.
There's already a lot of 3D buildings in there, and especially if you go for big cities, you know, if you want to play in Manhattan or something, there's already a lot of 3D buildings, so that'd be awesome.
Okay. Surprised I don't have a huge ping on the server.
Oh, you do?
No, I'm surprised I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a pretty good connection from my server, so.
Yeah, I'll vouch for you there.
Ah, cheers, man. Appreciate it. It's good to hear. The Angry Sensei, he's on Twitch, and he's now saying that he's going to check out if somebody has already done that using Google Maps for map making.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. The Angry Sensei is Tandy Miller, by the way. He's the vice president of the Rebels, but he's probably going to be promoted to president any of these days because the president has moved to another island for a little bit, but he is probably going to be back in a little while. And in the meanwhile, the vice president has to act like the president. So.
Do you have a vice president for the army?
Yeah. He's in Mexico right now, so.
Did you fill up like all your higher ranks?
For the rebels and for the army, we have a president and a vice president. And below that are the colonels, but we don't. We might have one or two already from the people who've been testing earlier. But that's pretty much.
Once I learn a little more, I might be down.
Yeah, sure. We just need to get Tandy Miller on here sometime, and then you could do an application with him in game. No, you don't have to be like really good at something. You can just start out as long as you know what to do as a colonel. Help other people with lower ranks to get to know the map, etc. So, yeah, just pass on whatever you learned. That way, everybody learns.
Yeah. I think that most people will know more than me, though.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of time, you know, but in like 1 or 2 weeks you will probably have learned a lot. And especially as soon as other people gonna jump on the server and get to know it role playing a little bit. It doesn't take too long to get to know it, to get the hang
Yeah.
of it. I got like 1.5 hours left before I have to go.
Alright.
Unfortunately, I'm also gonna have to take the server down. I'm going to move it to another server. So it might be down today, maybe even tomorrow. But I'm gonna
The
work.
server?
Sorry?
The server?
Yeah. So I'm going to move it over to another one, and it's gonna take a bit of time because I have to do some other stuff in the meanwhile. But this weekend and after the weekend, I'm going to work on it to add all the shops to the other cities, and then I'm gonna start working on implementing the passport. And as soon as we have that, then everything looks to be stable. So we need to test it a little bit, you know, try out all the shops, that sort of stuff. And as soon as we've done that, then I'll be able to add more cool stuff like weapons, vehicles, etc. Right? Yeah. So what other kind of drugs do we need on the server? We got weed, heroin, cocaine. I think we could use LSD, meth,
Yeah.
maybe crack cocaine. So if you poorly process the cocaine that you get like crack cocaine, and they got people smoking it everywhere at a crack den, maybe to chill out, so you can just hang out in the crack den, smoke a bit of crack.
Yeah.
Maybe put some crack babies in the hospital. Yeah, right now I got the server running on my laptop, so as soon as I've moved the server to another machine, I can also start streaming in full HD from my laptop.
Alright, I'm full.
Alright. Yeah, Sensei, just put a space between that if you want to paste the link in the chat.
Yeah.
Sensei, yes you can. You just have to put a space between the HTTP and the slashes or something, you know, so it doesn't recognize it's a link. I think it should work then. Or maybe space between the dots, something like that. You can try again until you got it working, you know, I don't mind. Almost. Maybe between the dots, so you place a space between every dot.
That's my favorite part of the map right there.
Which one? The desert?
The big hills. That would be a good ambush spot.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially since you got this main road over here. It goes from Adelaide to Perth.
They'll be driving on there. You could just start sniping at them.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe adding something like a rebel or an army outpost, or even two of them, so you got like checkpoints so that you know that you're leaving the rebel area and that you're entering the army area. Oh crap,
oh.
what did you do? Oh, you're
Wrong
so
button,
dead.
wrong button, oh god, no!
What?
Oh, I'm dead.
Okay, just hang in there, don't respawn.
Push the wrong button. Oh god! I was trying to look in the inventory.
Are you revived?
No!
Hey, I should have revived you now.
Is it because I'm under the water?
Yeah, I tried to revive you, but if it doesn't work, I'm not sure why it doesn't. Normally works, but that's what they always say.
I think it might be because I'm underwater. Alright, I just responded. Oh man, that was a huge mistake.
Oh crap, that's too bad. If you respawn in Sydney, I'll pick you up over there.
Alright.
I'll pick you
You want
up.
me to go to the army base?
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, I'm about 20 clicks away, so it will take like 5 minutes for me to get there. You can also go to the shop, you know, get some clothing, some
Yeah, I gotta go redo all that now.
toolkits, maybe some food, that sort of stuff.
Oh shoot, yo, I gotta go.
Alright. Oh, no worries, man.
Yeah, sorry man.
Oh, no problem. I just got your chopper and it's full of coke, so...
Yeah. A chopper full of coke.
Yeah, do you want me to fly over to the airport and then teleport you over there so you can put it in the garage?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it will just take, yeah, it will still take a couple of minutes, but...
Alright man.
Oh wait, I can land over there. I'm flying over water right now, but as soon as I
Wait, does that
land
mean
up,
that I
can
lose all my
teleport.
licenses, right?
No, you don't lose your licenses. You keep them forever.
Oh, alright.
The army can take away your driver's license and your firearms license, but that's it. Okay, I'm going to land now, and then I'm going to teleport the helicopter over to the airport, and then I'm going to get you over there, and then you can store it. Just so you don't have to wait any longer. Alright, there we go. Did you accidentally press space or something? That you fell out of the helicopter?
No, I was trying to access the inventory and then I accidentally double clicked the middle mouse button.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Damn, yo.
Alright, man.
Alright, see ya.
Thanks for hopping back on. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'll come on when it comes back up.
Alright, man. I'll let you know.
Peace out, man.
Okay, man. See you later. Tutorials. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I believe people already use Google Maps for the GPS for the navigation, or I mean like for the map. As you can see, a lot of these pictures are taken from original satellite pictures. They got.
Alright, man. See you later.
Alright, man. I'll see you later. Take care. And as you can see, a lot of these pictures are taken from satellite photos already, mixed together a little bit, you know, just to scale it, because you can't have all the roads on the picture, etc. So it's a lot of photoshopping, making sure that everything is put together nicely, corresponds with the actual map in game. So that must have been a ton of work, apart from like everything out there itself, of course. Right, let's see, how much time do I have left? A little over an hour. Alright. Is there anything you guys want to see? Or you want me to do, perhaps? Can we use this garage? I don't think so. I think it's only for... Oh wait, this one is for everyone. Oh, that's cool, because that way the rebels can also use the vehicle garages for spawning their big ass airplanes over there. Okay, that's cool. Let's just get my ghost hawk. I really love flying this bird. A lot of people hate it, but it's my favorite one. I really love flying this thing under small power lines, the low ones. There aren't too many power lines. I'm not even sure if there are any on this map, to be honest. Never really thought about that. Would be cool to have some power lines. It gives an edge to flying, because right now if you fly over the map, you can just fly between the trees and everything, and show you a little bit. You can fly really, really low with this bird. Ah yeah, we have this building over here, and since we have like a rogue nation state already, I figured it'd be nice to have a department of propaganda. As you can see on my GPS, I've marked this location as the propaganda department, but it's not much out there already. But pasta or pizza? Yeah, that's a tough decision. I had a sort of the same dilemma, because Aussie was streaming, so I really had to watch his stream, and at some point he went offline, so that solved my dilemma. Yeah, sometimes we gotta make tough choices in life. We got a nice place over here to land with a helicopter, so maybe it'd be a good place for hostages or something. Let's check it out a little bit. I think I've only been here before only once or something. Let's see what we have. We got a bunch of barracks. I believe there's a long ladder inside of this building. Let's see if we go up there, what we can see. There we go. Always on the other side, of course. Yeah, this is going to take a bit to climb up there. Should get a nice view of Sydney. Alright, so pasta or pizza? Whatever you ate last time, go for the other one. That's my suggestion. That's what I always do, you know. First pasta, then kebab, then French fries with a hamburger. Sometimes just soup with a bit of bread. Add something to the bread, dip it in the soup. So this hill is hindering the view over Sydney a little bit. As you can see, we got the bridge down there, but it's really hard to see the north side from here. Maybe just over there. Is there a bank or something? No. I could keep a hostage in there and then have a sniper up here. It's like 1200 meters away, but I'm never gonna find out where the guy is sitting if you got a sniper over here. Pasta it is. Alright, man. Bon appetit. Yeah, don't let the chicken get old. Really. This is gonna be like the presidential house, the White House. Might buy the other ones too once we get the buyable houses working. So this area will be cornered off a little bit, like Pennsylvania 1600. Pennsylvania Avenue 1600. Would be awesome if we could get like all the apartment buildings to work. I know that that some of them are going to work in version 5. Let's see. Let's fly over there. Let's check out the apartment buildings, see how many there are in there. Because I know they're going to work in version 5, so it's going to be awesome. We'll have like a ton of extra buyable houses then. So this is basically the propaganda department. I can't come up with a lot of things you could use this for roleplay, but probably hostage situations. You can put a sniper over here. I didn't get a clear view on a bank, so it's not going to be really usable for a sniper when you're doing a bank job, I think, but maybe I've overlooked something. There we go. Maybe if you put a sniper on this hill that you get a better overview. I think we have the top of the hill just behind here. Oh my god. Look at this spot. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. I'm definitely gonna see a bank from up here. We got the other hill over there. I'm not sure if it's too far away for a sniper. If you look at this, man. You can get an overview on the army base from up here. It's covered a little bit by trees, just on the west side, but that's basically it. Far away is that? 2 clicks. It's probably going to be a bit difficult, but still you get a really nice overview from here. Maybe we should put like a frog swamp over there for the meth or something. So you have to go get frogs over there, like really close to where the army base is. But you should be able to make like a lot of money for that. That you got like a kitchen, like a restaurant over there. That you can go over there and sell the frog legs. That it's legal, you know, like turtle poaching, for example. Right, so let's see, where do we have a bank? There's one over there. There's one over there. There's actually two over there. But you don't got a clear view on the street over here. So if you want a sniper for a bank job for one of these, it's going to be pretty difficult. Even though you got all the place around it, so I would probably go for that one. So you still have a bit of street over there, the rest over here. Is there another one? No, you got some clothing store over there. You can also put a hostage in a house, of course. Just any building basically that you got a good view on. Maybe an apartment building like that, so you can see the cops coming. You're still gonna need something for overview on the backside. I believe these are the no, that's an office building. That's also an office. That's where the news channel is at, I believe. Yeah, let's go. Let's go back to the helicopter and fly over there. I'm really curious how many people can buy an apartment once that's finished. I really can't wait till version 5 is released. I can't stress that enough. The other day I landed a small plane. It was in a different server, but I landed like a Texan, one of those smaller army planes. It looks a bit like a Piper Cup, like a Cessna. It's a bit bigger though. It's a two-seater. But I approached from there, and then I just flew really low over this bridge, and then right behind these two pillars over there, I dropped down to the road. Still took me a long way. I ended all the way up in the grass over there. And I parked it somewhere over there. It's pretty cool that you can actually land some planes over here. Maybe I should add that plane too. Right, let's see, where do we have the apartment buildings? There's one down here. Okay, let's check it out. Really bad at multitasking when I try to land a chopper, so there we go. It's pretty cool that you can go up the roof. Let's see what we have here. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if you can drop down there. Put God mode on for a second. Just test that. Wow, this is really surreal. We also have stairs over here, so let's try these. Go to the next floor, see how many apartments we got over there. Oh, that's cool. Holy crap, there's a lot of them. Oh, there's a door over here, so does that mean that this is like one apartment? Yeah, I think this is... I don't know. Why is this door over here? Let's look at the balconies. Looks like different apartments, but there's two front doors. But Would be nice if you could lock the front doors, but like disable this one. Oh right, okay, cool. So a house with a balcony is probably gonna cost extra. It's probably like penthouse or something. No, we can't go there right now. So only the houses with balconies have open doors. Yeah, I really can't wait for the next feature for V5 of the map, and we can buy these apartments. It's gonna be really awesome. Right, so basically as a soldier with not a lot of people on the server, it's not really much to do. So I think I'm just gonna hop on as a civilian. Maybe do a quick coke run or something. Most other servers, if you're with the police faction, and the police faction over here is the army, so if you're a soldier, in this case, it's normally if you're a police officer, you're not able to do drugs. So then you're also not able on most servers to be a civilian. But if you're not a civilian and you can't do any drugs, you know, it gets a little bit boring. So if you separate the two factions, police from the civilians, if you separate their cash, then it shouldn't be a problem for people to play like both roles. Because it's like two different identities, two different people. So that's why I want it to be possible for people to be both in the army or be a rebel and be a civilian at the same time. So you can choose between rebel or army, and after that you can still play as a civilian. Or even a medic if you're whitelisted for that. So back at the army base, let's do a quick relog as a civilian. We can do some drugs, make some money, fly around, show you the island a little bit. Which island do you think I should do next? Or I mean which city? Because I've started with Sydney, the biggest city, so we have a template for all the other cities. As you can see here, this is the rebel faction. Sensei, you should be able to choose the commander militant seat now instead of the general militant, so I've already upgraded you in the database. The independent faction are the medics, also whitelisted just as the rebels and the army. And as a civilian you don't need to be whitelisted, so just make sure you have the Australia map running, activated, and you can jump on the server and play as a civilian. We also have a TeamSpeak on ts.altis.XYZ, so you can always hop in there to have a chat. If you want to join the server, you don't need to use TeamSpeak right now, but we'll be implementing Task Force Radio, so at some point you will have to use that, so you will have to use TeamSpeak. Right now you can just hop on the server, make some money, get started. As soon as we've got all the other cities added next week, it should be more attracting for other people, but basically everything on the map is already working right now. So as a civilian you can start in Sydney or in Darwin, because these are the first cities with all the shops. As soon as I add all the shops to the next city, then I will also add it to the spawn points. And as soon as the buyable houses work, then you also get an extra spawn point at your house as soon as you buy one. So let's just start in Darwin, because that's closest to the cocaine field. As you can see, I'm a different person when I'm a civilian. Right now I still have the same bank balance, but I'm going to separate the bank balance of civilians from the army, so that way you can't make money as a civilian or a soldier and then use it for the other faction. So let's see where we're at real quick. So I've added the heroin processing to Darwin on the rebel side of the map. Darwin, we have the rebel HQ. We got a rebel outpost over here in the middle of the desert, and we have a rebel outpost over here in Perth. They're all like big bases. We can drive over there. Let's get a car and just drive over there and I'll show you. Rebel bases is where the rebels live, so the OPFOR faction. They're all on the west side of the island, and on the east side of the island we got the army. Rebels and soldiers are here to help civilians. Civilians can try and be neutral, or they can choose to support one of the two factions. And if you support the army, it becomes a lot easier to sell your drugs, and if you support the rebels, then you get a lot more access to all the rebel stuff, so all their weapons, etc., because they are able to just sell you their own stuff. That way they make a bit of extra money. You support the rebels a little bit, you know, they help you out a little bit. Then when you try to process heroin, cocaine, or if you go to the wheat fields on their side of the island. Sure thing, man. Wondering now if I had tested these already. Nice thing in Darwin is on the map there are a few of these buildings, like a few of these guard towers. It's going to be night soon. Do I have night vision? Yeah, I do. Alright, so let's get a nice car. There we go. So let's show you the Rebel HQ a little bit. Especially at night. I'm not sure if I had already showed you. I believe last night I already showed what it looks like at night, but it really looks awesome because of all the lighting. It's really difficult at night to attack that base. So let's go over here. Looks like the lights aren't on yet. Oh, they are. So as you can see, when I drive around the Rebel HQ, it's really difficult to attack this one. It's really hard to approach it from basically either side. It's really open over here, so the only way to approach it, use a bit of cover, is to come through these woods over here. The yellow poles are really interesting. I think they'll be fixed in version 5. It's not really dark yet. Should be in a few minutes. Fuck it. So here's the Rebel base. With some extra lighting for the landing area. We got basically all the vehicle shops over there, so maybe I should tell this when Sensei is around so he knows everything, but I think he already knows this. But we got a vehicle shop over here, garage for the cars. And if you're a rebel commander or like a general for the rebels, you're able to buy tanks and that sort of stuff, mostly for events, maybe special occasions, you know, when something really interesting happens and you really need some heavy artillery or something. Normally that only happens with events. Everybody's able to buy something at the rebel market, by the way. So if you go over here and you're really hungry, if there's nobody around, you can simply sneak in the base, go over to this guy, use the rebel market, buy whatever you need. Buy lockpicks, pickaxes, fuel cans, etc. The blasting charges, by the way, and the bolt cutters, you'll need those to do a bank job at the Federal Reserve. But if you do that, you need at least 5 soldiers online, so keep that in mind. This tower really gives a great overview of the whole area. Instead of if you compare this base to the army base, then normally you see watchtowers on the edges, on the corner. We don't have a watchtower over here, and that's because you can just climb on this building and then get a great oversight. As you can see, this building is the one with the camo, the green brownish one. As you can see, the lighting goes out pretty far, so if there are rebels on watch who don't have night vision, they're still able to see you coming from pretty far. Maybe that corner over there is like a weak spot, but I'm gonna wait for the rebels themselves to complain about any weak spots, and then I'll fix them. Get a great overview from here over the airport, over anybody that's approaching my car. Yeah, I might have to check out this corner. This corner looks good, I think. Yeah, this corner is well lighted. That lamp over there also takes that corner. Here we might have the same issue. No, that one also looks good. So just this one corner where you have a blind spot. Still, you got an outpost, or you got a post over there, so they should be watching that. These guys should definitely have night vision. If they don't, they're definitely messing up. You don't want to use night vision with all of this light, of course, so that doesn't really make sense. Let's just fuck something up. I still got the SDAR from when we were testing out the turtle poaching. Okay, this car is not gonna blow. Not with only one clip left. There we go. Let's leave it as a present. There we go. How much time do I have left? 45 minutes. Quick drug run. Yeah, I should be able to do that. I think my bank balance got messed up again when I switched from police to civilian faction, so could probably use the money. I think it would be interesting to have a server where you can only play in first person if you're doing Altis Life. Would make it more realistic, you know, but people don't really like driving like this all the time, flying around like this, etc. That's probably going to be the biggest problem. A lot of people are not going to like that feature, so that's why I just stick to regular right now. That way you can also place markers on the map with shift click that you then see outside of the map, so you see how far you have to go. I think that's a really useful feature, you know. And it should also be a good mix of realism combined with gameplay, so I really like the simulator part about it, but it can be a little bit arcade, you know, it's still a game. So is there anything else we can test over here? I think I already have all my licenses. Let's see what is them. Oh no, this general store, of course. Let's buy another toolkit. I still got enough money. We can still do drug run. I have GPS, of course. Okay. Map. There we go. Okay, here we got the military towers over here. So the thing is, we got the heroin processor over there. So if you want to approach it, you could, or if you're processing heroin, you could just, oh wait, that's the fish market, then maybe we should move the fish market to where the heroin processing is and the other way around. Because we also have these towers over there. Do we have something on the edge over there? No, not really. This would be a nice place for the boat shop, by the way, if there's a ladder over here somewhere. I don't think there's a ladder here. Try and keep that in mind for Aussie, because this would be a great place for a ladder. So you could just buy a boat over here, then put it over there, put it back there, climb up the ladder over here, and then spawn your boat again. Because if the boat shop is too far away from the spawn guide, then it's not going to work. That's a nasty one. Let's try that again. Oh, that's a nasty little edge over here. You can really fuck up your car over here if you go too fast. There we go again. Oh, never mind. Let's drive over to the airport, get a chopper, do a drug run. drive to the hospital first. Ah, damn. New. Oh, never mind. Still have to go in here. Hello, doctor. Thanks for the meth guy. So there we go. Just took a ton of painkillers, and then we're good to go. So yesterday by truck it took me 30 minutes to drive over there. So to drive from Darwin just to the, let's see, the south side of Perth. I'm going to do it by chopper now, see how long it takes. Should be much faster, like two and a half times that fast, so should be there in under 10 minutes. Or maybe a little bit over. Oh yeah, we fly on the left side of the road, of course, in Australia. This goes so much faster by helicopter, it's ridiculous. Zach was right, you know, if you look at these hills, I mean, they're perfect, you know, if you want to lie over here, lie in one of these hills, catch somebody over there, for example. By the way, I'm gonna have to store my chopper over there because I have to go do something else before I go. So I have to go a bit earlier. Might be back on tomorrow. I'm not really sure, but definitely be back in the weekends. Definitely after the weekend, because I'll start working on the other cities, either during or after the weekend. And this one isn't working, of course. Never mind. I was going to take the server down anyway after this, so. Alrighty. Okay guys, thanks for joining. I hope to see you this weekend, otherwise after the weekend, and maybe I'll hop on tomorrow for a little bit, but I'm really busy in the next few days, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time for that. If I do, hope to see you again, and otherwise hope to see you on the server sometime soon. So thanks for watching, see you soon.